So next up is women's singles, and our first chance to have a look at the #1 seed Wang Shixian of China up against Linda Zechiri of Bulgaria. There is the world #1. A 21-year-old from Suzhou in Jiangsu province in China. Semi-finalist, bronze medalist last year at the World Championships when she was only the #6 seed. Lost out to teammate Wang Xin in the semi-final a year ago. But perhaps her best achievement so far is winning the Asian Games gold medal in Guangzhou last December. So here comes her left-handed opponent, Linda Zechiri. Turned 24 at the end of July. Hard worker on court.
Linda, shuttle or a racket?
Oh, the toss of the coin.
Shuttle? Shuttle?
I'll choose the score then.
Over here?
Yeah, that's interesting. Linda Zechiri choosing which end to start, and Morton, I would have thought that's standard with players nowadays when you can score a point whether you're serving or not.
Yeah.
Bound to be a difference in ends, and of course
yeah, but we've been watching it all day yesterday and a few hours this morning, and honestly I don't see a lot of difference.
No.
There's a little bit of side drift, and that's it, and obviously that goes for both sides.
So the world #1, Wang Shixian. As I say, bronze medalist last year, and her win-loss record for the year is stunning, 24-5. Won 3 titles already, the Super Series finals, the Malaysian Super Series, and of course the All England. And on top of that, reached the final at the first ever Premier Super Series event in Korea. So she's been in great form. So there was a bit of a blip at the Sudirman Cup when she lost to the German Juliana Schenk. And after that loss, she actually got dropped by the Chinese team and replaced by Wang Xin. But her opponent, the 24-year-old, as I say, 34 in the world rankings. Lots of tournaments towards that world ranking. 19 events she's played in the last 12 months. And you can see her win-loss record in the negative. She has reached a couple of quarterfinals, though, this year. The Danish International and also an event in the Maldives. Never had events in places like that when we were playing, Morton. How come? Maldives, I fancy that.
Yeah, why not? Let's go and play.
Yeah. But Linda Zechiri, she's a very hard worker on court, but I think we'll see a distinct difference between these two singles players regarding their movement around the court.
Definitely. The Chinese girl is a very good mover on the court, and as you say, Linda is she's a hard worker, but obviously not half as fluent.
Yes.
As the Chinese girl is, and I think that is one of the things that's going to make a major impact on this game. I think that Linda, she's got to work very hard, and she's got to really try to play solid, proper, sharp shots in order to dent the Chinese player here.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jakob Sundberg of Denmark, our umpire, and Ian Ross from England, the service judge. So as far as this lady is concerned, only playing her 2nd World Championship. Not bad to get a medal in your first ever World Championships a year ago. As for her opponent, Linda Zechiri, well, she's making her 6th appearance here at World Championships. Started back in 2005 in Anaheim. Lost in the first round there to Kaori Mori of Japan. Last year, lost to another Japanese player, Ai Goto. Never passed the 2nd round of a World Championship. Zechiri.
She's... I think she's a good player, but she's lacking a little bit of speed, and that's the problem. She's playing good shots, but I think that the fact that she's not quick enough getting there, adding on the pressure, makes her not as good as the others, and that's why she's steady. She's get to the 1st, 2nd rounds and all that, but she doesn't progress further than that.
Yeah. Well, she's a good fighter. She'll certainly fight throughout this match.
Definitely. And she will have a smile on her face if she can get the opponent to run the wrong way once or twice. She usually like that.
Yeah. So the world number one seed Wang Shixian of China, getting this 2nd round encounter underway, because of course Wang Shixian didn't have to play the 1st round as her seeding position gave her a bye in the 1st round, whereas Zechiri became a player from Mauritius in comfortable style, 21-7, 21-12. And we've actually got one of the Chinese players here, Morton, who's very, very expressive on court.
Yes.
Very vocal when she wins a rally. She's a little yell of delight and has got more of a personality shining through in the way she plays than some of her compatriots.
Yeah, she's very emotional about it, and it's. I think it suits her really well. I like to watch her play, you know, she's got such commitment in what she's doing.
Service fault called.
Oh, service fault called.
Service over.
Last calling the service fault, saying racket not facing in a downward direction. Oh, good spot. Yeah.
See, that's where you see it. She's playing this cross-court drop, and she knows that she's playing a fast opponent, getting up there very early, but she doesn't follow her shot. She's scared of moving forward too much, because then possibly the flick is coming, and that's where she's exposed, in my opinion.
Service over. 3-0.
Interesting that she chose to serve forehand there, having been faulted on her last service, playing the backhand serve.
Yeah, but then, you know, you can either do two things. You can continue what you've done before and say that was a mistake, and, you know, you carry on, or you change it for a while and then you get back to it later on.
Just wide with the smash.
Yeah, she's hitting well. She's going for it. There's no doubt. It's a good smash. It's bad luck.
Oh, that's a super drop shot.
Yeah, that's what Linda's good at. She's good disguising her shots and play with decent power. So, you know, she can wrong foot people. That's what she did there.
Oh, it's perfect length on the clear. Just inside the back line.
6-4.
Oh, plumb on the line even.
No doubt, it was in. she's got to watch out.
It's a good rally.
Service over.
Yeah, well, delighted with the outcome of that, Zechiri.
5-6.
But even though that Linda won it, I'm telling you, it's played it right into the hands of Wang, this rally. This is what she wants. This is how she wants to play it. And longer rallies, keep the pace up, making Linda work. That's what she wants. Even though she lost it, it's played into her hands.
I mentioned right at the start, Morten, the fact that Wang Shixian had a bit of a blip at the Sudirman Cup first group match against Germany, lost to Juliana Schenk. And I have to say, since then, she's been struggling with her form. Last 16 of the Asian Badminton Championships, also last 16 of the Indonesian Super Series.
She lost to Tina in Singapore.
In the semi-final.
Yeah.
And I know you were coaching Tina on that occasion. We were talking yesterday about Chen Long and the fact that he lost to the Guatemalan player, a huge upset. And you were talking about the effect that might have on the rest of the team. And I just wonder the fact that Wang Shixian has been struggling since losing to Juliana Schenk, whether that match yesterday might make her even more nervous for perhaps this tournament and these opening rounds?
You see, there is this enormous pressure on the Chinese team, and in all honesty, they're really strong. But sometimes it's a bit too much. I think they have to perform to perfection always. I obviously know the coaches, I know the people in charge, and they put so much pressure on their players to perform well. And I would say, especially in the ladies singles, we see that they're crumbling under pressure now and again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think back to last year, and do you remember the Uber Cup final when China lost surprisingly to South Korea?
Yes, they did.
And Wang Yihun, who was the #1 singles player in the world at the time, lost to Bai Seung-hee. And following that result, Lee Yongbo, the head coach, said, you may be #1 in the world. I'm not going to select you for the Asian Games. It wasn't selected as one of 4 singles players, and despite being #1 in the world, said, you've got to prove yourself again. Now, how much pressure is that?
That's a lot of pressure, but they have so many to take from. You know, that could never ever happen in a European country. We would be happy to have one in top 5, and they will always be guaranteed a place to play.
Yeah. You wonder, though, what it does to the player at the top. You know, the #1, you've lost one match, you get dropped from the Sudirman Cup team, and then when your #2 player loses, you sort of think, oh, well, our #3 is injured, so we better go back to our #1. It doesn't necessarily inspire the player with confidence.
No, it's a little bit what I would call management by fear.
Yeah. Perfect way to describe it.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Read it so early.
Yeah, no, we've seen it on a few occasions, not even a few, I think quite a lot, where this punch clear is coming to the forehand side of Linda, and then she's either having to leave it, or she's playing a kind of a soft shot, and then the follow in here comes the follow in, and it's finished. And we've seen exactly that, I think, already 5 or 6 times.
Yes, and that's the one thing that Zechiri doesn't do. Having played the shot, she doesn't follow in looking for the next one.
No, she's not quick enough for that.
Yeah. So the 5-point advantage is in favour of world #1, Wang Shixian.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court
Yes, another
1,
Danish coach.
20 seconds.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday in your programme in Denmark for bringing young coaches on. And
yeah, this is Nadia Luduk, and she's doing a great job with a lot of the girls, the ladies in Denmark. She's really doing a good job. She's lucky.
Service over.
I was going to say, either that's very good early judgment or she was lucky.
You know, they were very sarcastically said, you would say, well left.
Oh, yeah. But she's addressing the shuttle so early. She's got so many options.
Yeah, the other shot is simply just too slow, too soft. Options are too great.
12-7. Seven.
There's one or two errors creeping into the game of Zechiri.
14-7.
There's one thing I don't understand about the game of Wang. If you try to notice now, maybe she's not doing it so blatantly, but look at how long time it takes for her to serve. And she's a player that's got to live on the physical aspect of the game. But she's giving the opponent an opportunity to recover
15,
the whole time.
7.
I'm not saying she should rush it or anything, or stress the opponent, but I still think she's taking an awful long time. And if the physical is an important part of her game, she's sort of giving that advantage away.
Yeah. It's a point that I have noticed
15.
on numerous occasions. In fact, you know, I think I've even discussed the fact that she's taken so long in between that, you know, it's almost disrupting the game. Games are taking...
It's like tennis for 30 seconds.
Yes.
Service over. 16-8.
Amazing. Around the head shot there from Wang Shixian.
17-8.
Arching her back, almost contorting her back before then moving forward in court to play that beautiful spinning net shot. That's a nice disguise.
9-17. Ten. 17.
Oh, that's
nice. Yeah. Good return.
18-10.
she's found the line again.
19-10.
Yeah, it's perfection. 2 points away from this opening game.
That's
Oh, that's wild.
20, game point, 10.
Zhang Ning, the current Olympic champion. Watch is on, in charge of the singles players now. And 10 game points now to the world #1.
Service over. 11.
That's actually
20.
one of the things I want to see about Wang in the future. You know, you always look at players, say, okay, what can they develop? And I'm looking here, you know, she's got to develop her attacking skills because she cannot completely rely on what she's doing now. Yeah, good pressure.
21-11. The margin of
First game
victory in
won
the
by
opening game.
Wang Shixian, 21-11.
Purposeful walk from Zhang Ning. Very pleased with her player, and rightly so. 15 minutes for that opening game, 21-11.
无论是这个往前后推手坚持，一旦他从这个往前推你的时候，吊啊、抬高手就结合起来。
It's interesting to me, Morten, the fact that you should say that about the attacking game, because, you know, you think back a generation of players, and there's, in fact, we watched one of the Chinese-born players yesterday that's now changed allegiance, representing France, Pi Hongyan. You think about the German player Zhu Weiwen, and some of the Chinese players were allowed to leave the Chinese setup because they were regarded too short to really make it in world terms. And there was very much, it appeared that there was a policy in China that the women's singles players should be tall so they could be aggressive and attacking. And that policy seems to have changed now. They're having much shorter players pushing them. But they aren't as aggressive. You know, they're great athletes, great runners, but they really aren't as aggressive. The one of the top Chinese players at the moment that I think has the potential to be very, very special is Wang Yihan.
Exactly, it was the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
I agree. She's taller, she's got more muscles to play with.
Yeah.
No doubt. But I think, you know, it goes, there's ups and downs, and obviously it depends on what kind of players is progressing in your country and all that. But China has got so many to take from. So obviously even players like Pi Hongyan and the German girl as well, you know, they're completely not good enough for the system. Then they go out, they go into Europe, into another country, and suddenly they become top 5 in the world. I think that's quite interesting.
Second game. Double. Play.
Well, she only needed 15 minutes to take that opening game. 21-11. Can she reproduce that sort of form in the second? Linda Zechiri of Bulgaria will certainly have something to say about that.
1-love.
Of course, we had a glimpse there of the Danish coach again, working with Linda Zechiri. Is she part of the international academy where Zechiri trains and practices, or
yes, we have a few academies in Denmark, and she's attending one of them. And this is south of Copenhagen. It's called Greve, and Greve is one of the top clubs. I actually think they won the national team championship last year, and or last season, just over. And you know, they have a very, very nice setup, and she's part of that, but she's not playing in the Danish league as such.
Okay. That's the problem with playing the cross court. It's either got to be really a winner,
or you have to follow.
Or you have to follow.
You have to follow. You don't know how many times I'm telling my players, you know, follow your shots, please follow your shots, come on. You know you have to follow the shot, and despite whatever I say sometimes, they're still standing back and they're waiting. And they say, it's supposed to be a winner, yeah, but if it's not a winner, what are you going to do then?
Yeah.
all.
A real missed opportunity.
Service over.
Yeah, well,
I can see why she was unhappy with that.
yeah.
3.
What an opportunity.
And for a player that relies on her movement and her consistency, to see an error, unforced error like that is quite extraordinary.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Really good shot.
2. Wang. Wang.
It's punching it down the line. From a quite difficult position, that's really well played.
Interesting that umpire Jakob Simberg also having a word with Wang after that rally, saying, don't try and influence the line.
Exactly, that's what she was trying to do. And it was well in, well in.
3.
In badminton terms.
4. All. 5. 4.
Morton, you were saying just a moment ago about some of the Chinese players in the past being allowed to leave the setup in China and coming to Europe, and then suddenly, having been regarded as no-hopers in the Chinese system, become top 5 players in the world. And you said that was an interesting thing in itself. You've obviously got a theory there. Is it because they can have the freedom to develop themselves as personalities in a more relaxed environment in Europe, or what is the theory?
I think so. Not everybody is top of the pops when they're 20. It takes sometimes longer time for other players, and they get the time to develop, and they get a lot of focus because they're most likely the best player in the country where they end up. So they get a lot of attention, and obviously they get more time and as you say, possibly a more relaxed atmosphere. And, you know, they develop as players and human beings, and eventually they get there.
Yes, it all sort of ties in with what we were saying about the pressure on the top Chinese women's singles player and the management by fear, the fear of if you don't perform as world #1, you're out, you're not selected for Asian Games, you know, I've got another 10 players I can pick from.
Exactly, the standard is expected to be so high in China. And obviously, if you're not performing on the day or just a few bad results, okay, you're out. Take the next. They have so many to take from.
It's a very harsh system, but it has made them the best badminton nation in the world.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. All respect for the Chinese and the way they play the game. They are a major, major force.
Just swaying her body one way, hitting the shuttle the other. Oh, I thought that was going wide.
It was. But possibly the drift could have kept it in, but it looked out. But I think very wise decision of Wang. You know, don't take any chances. She's only 7-5 up now, 8-5 up. you know, in terms of the overall strategy of the game, I think it was a very wise decision.
Oh,
that's the punch clear again.
Very good, isn't it?
Yes.
9-5.
Just explain to us what we mean by the punch clear then, Morten.
It depends on how high you play the clear. If you play it with a lot of heights, it's a defensive clear. And when you play really flat and just over the opponent's racket head, it's a very flat clear, it's a punch clear, it's an attacking clear. And if you can play that even with a disguise with kind of a delay, then it's really good.
Yeah, as indeed Wang Shixian did on that occasion. In fact, the last two rallies. Take a look at this. Holds, suddenly punches through. Beautiful. On a run of 4 straight points. From 6-5 to 10-5. Well, she had a 5-point advantage in the opening game, the mid-game interval. One better here in the second game. It's a 6-point advantage to world number 1, Wang Shixian.
I again think it was a very wise decision, you know, when she was 7-5 up and not leaving that one. Had it been in, it would have been 7-6. She was on the run, and now she's 6 points ahead. I think, you know, again, the management of the game, it's good, clever decision. Don't take chances. You see so many players taking chances in that.
Yeah.
Port 1, 20 seconds. Port 1, 20 seconds.
Speaking Danish.
Speaking Danish. Did you catch anything she was saying? No.
Yeah, a little bit. She said if she's putting pressure on you in the deep corners at the baseline, you got to do, and then I couldn't hear. So that's perfect, isn't it?
Play. Service over.
I don't know if you could hear all the clapping in the background. It was because of on the next court there's a match between Hiroshi from Japan and Marin from Spain. And Marin is only 18. She's one of the up-and-coming players from Europe, and she is the European Junior Champion just a few months ago. And she's doing really well. She's getting in on the scene, and she only lost 23-21 to Hiroshi, who is very established on the world scene.
You're not kidding. She reached the final of the All England singles this year.
There you see. I don't think she has got the stamina to continue to play a match at this level, but she was, I think, 2017 up. So that's good for Europe. Having players coming through. That's nice play.
Oh, that's digging herself out of trouble.
Yes.
Couldn't do it her second time.
7-12. Play.
That's delightful.
8,
Yeah.
12.
Super shot. She took that only at about shoulder height.
Yeah, but it's good. That's what she's good at. She can hide it behind the back there. Nicely played.
going wide. Oh, it's a good little fight back here.
12.
Half the deficit was 6 points adrift, now just 3. Yeah, perfection on the net shot.
10, 12.
This certainly is a good little fight back.
1.
Helped by the net cord.
Ooh. That's what you call neat. That was very well played.
10.
But once again, the big difference, she came from above the shuttle.
Yeah, look at that one. Again, it's a cross-court shot. She's out of balance. She's got the full court to cover. And obviously the shot is playing a little bit too loose as well.
Service over. 11, 13.
I think a little bit of insecurity is creeping into the game of Wang. And that's, you know, if she's playing against players of even higher standard than Linda, you know, she could get into trouble, as what we discussed in the beginning of this game.
Yeah. Yes, that's nice. That's very nice indeed. And of course it emphasises your point that you made right at the start, that she hasn't really got a weapon. She hasn't got a winning shot that you can suddenly pull out and say, okay, instead of just playing consistent and trying to outmaneuver my opponent, I'm going to start playing one or two winners just to sort of relax myself and get myself back into the lead.
Exactly. And if she wants to play what she's playing, she has to play clears like that the whole time, get up there. Now she's got to push it. That's it. And push it again. That's it. That's how she's got to play the whole time. So that's how that's the pressure she's got to maintain the whole time. Is she relaxing
14,
just a little
12.
bit? Her game is kind of falling apart.
World number one's game's falling apart.
I was also saying this. Very low. I didn't mean it like that, but I'm sure you know what I mean.
Absolutely. It's interesting because both you and I watched the Sudirman Cup. We both watched her in the Far East, the last couple of Super Series tournaments, and of course you coached Tina to beat her in that semi-final in Singapore, and
15,
so obviously
12.
there are frailties, there's weaknesses, there's
gaps.
things that can be exploited.
Absolutely, and that's what we obviously have to try to do to the maximum.
That's lovely. Now that's where you do see the difference in the drift, isn't it? Because you really did punch through with that clear.
Yeah. And she was hitting it hard.
Stayed well in.
Yeah, way. Not even close.
Oh, good judgment, just wide.
Service over. 13, 16.
Again, I think Linda has been really clever exploiting that short backhand corner of Wang. She's made some mistakes on her defense on that side. She's pushing it wide as well and so on. There's a little gap there. here it comes again, and mistake. But.
Service over. 17-13.
Yeah, she often doesn't seem to have the poise and balance when she's playing the round the head shot that her opponent does.
Falling out of court.
Yeah.
Have to work on her physical strength.
Nicely taken at the net. When you say work on her physical strength, are you talking about leg strength or core stability or combination?
Core, and obviously a combination, but core is very, very important, especially if front and back.
Yeah. Three points away from a place in the third round for world #1, Wang Shixian.
Service over. 14-18. Service over. 19-14.
That's it. That's good pace. Really good pace of Wang there.
20 match point.
Yes,
14.
and just to demonstrate on cue, when she's playing around the head shot, how imbalanced she is. 200 kilometres an hour.
It's pretty good for a ladies' singles match.
124 miles per hour. Very good. It's match points, of course.
It's in.
Okay.
And that's it. First time of asking. And a very competent opening game, opening match, as far as Wang Shixian is concerned. Job done well, and job done in 2 straight games. Confirmation of the score, 21-11, 21-14 in 36 minutes of play. So Wang Shixian safely through to the third round, and she will meet the winner of Elizabeth Can from England and Porntit Boranaprasatsuk, the #10 seed from Thailand. So that awaits the third round, but safely through today's match.